Hey guys, Valence Ring here with Non-Decor Duco and State 16, bringing you another video. This time I want to talk about another topic that I do get asked about a lot and that I think is very important. It's one of the most important things I think in the game as far as longevity goes and for growth. And what I'm talking about is the pit. So let's dive right into it. As you can see, this is the rare earth field, also known as the pit, and this is where you gather rare earth to exchange it with EVA for various resources. As you can see right here, I have over 3 million rare earth collected. I'm right in the middle of gathering, and I know that a lot of people may or may not do very well in the pit or just don't gather that much, and they're like, how do you get 3 million, rare earth? Well, one, you have to save, but two, it's all about strategy. Obviously, you always want to be gathering in rare earth, the pit. If you're not gathering in the pit, you are wasting precious resources. Rare earth can be exchanged for McCarty frags, and that is how I initially got McCarty. I don't spend that much on McCarty frags right now. Because I'm not too concerned about them. I'm more concerned with leveling up my headquarters and getting a lot of those precious resources that are very hard to get. I do have a video out there on resources. It's a little bit long, and so each aspect of that I am going to try and break down and do individual videos on so that people can just get the information they need specifically. So right now I'm talking about rare earth, and as you can see, this is where you get your modules. You can get your 3-star fighter, shooter, and rider modules to start. You can get your module enhanced material, your promotion material, and of course marks of glory, which are very useful, but they're kind of expensive in the rare earth shop. You only get one for 10,000, and so as you can see, what is that, 1,000,000 for 100 of them? And as you know, as you get higher up marks of glory, 100 marks of glory isn't that much. For 1,000,000 rare earth, that's about a day to 2 days worth of gathering, probably for most people. I try to get 1,000,000 rare earth a day. It doesn't always work out, but I try to get as close to that as possible, and I use it to buy the resources down here: food, wood, steel, and gas. And I purchase whatever I need as I need it. That's why I save rare earth. Definitely super critical. It's one of the easiest ways to boost your resource output and get some of those items that you can't get anywhere else, like the module, enhanced material, and McCarty frags. So what exactly is the rare earth, the pit? How do we navigate it, and what do we do? Obviously, you can click the info button and it will explain most of it to you. What you have to do at first is battle a monster. It's basically like a big spider. You battle your way up to the highest possible level. As you can see here, my history high is level 6, and I have gathered in level 6, and I'll talk about that later. But my current high right now is level 5. That's where I personally like to gather for my level right now, where I'm at. You can see the excavation time is 21 hours. This is the time when they automatically kick you out. It doesn't matter if you've been gathering for 5 minutes or for the entire time. Your pit gathering time, you're only allowed to gather for so long, and then you're kicked out. But if you're gathering during this excavation time, then you're kicked out, and once a week you have to technically re-battle your way up to where you want to be, to what level. So let's go ahead. I'll do the battle later, but for right now I did want to show you that if you go in here, you go ahead and click enter the field, and you can see up here it says raid attempts 3, and I'm not entirely sure about that because I've never had an issue with it. But basically each one of these pits, as you can see here, are someone gathering. This is a resource spot that someone's gathering at, and this is always acceptable to battle for spots, and actually that's what I recommend. So at VIP level 7, you'll notice that one of the perks is that you can auto occupy in pit. You can hit this little search bar, because I'm occupying a pit it won't let me do it, but you can hit this little search button and it will allow you to search for an open spot. This is a great perk, especially if you just hit VIP level 7, if your might isn't super high, if you're not super tough. This is a quick way instead of searching through each pit, and there can be hundreds of these. Actually, I think there's even thousands of them. You can just type in 9s until it cancels out, and you'll see 1,288. That's how many pits there are. Okay, each one has multiple spots on it, and I don't know how they calculate that. I haven't figured it out yet. But basically, they take a cross section of the number of people participating, and they allot so many slots for that. There are over 1,200, or there are 1,288 pages of at least 5 to 7 spots. The last page only has 2, but you can see here there's 9 spots on this page, and I believe there's 9 spots on each page. So what's the best tactic? Like, obviously we want to be in a spot, so we have to look around and find an open spot. We can type in a number that we want just by clicking here and then typing in the number, and this will take us to that page. Okay, and you can see all these red flags mean the spot is occupied. You hit the next arrow, next arrow, next arrow. All of these spots are occupied. So even auto occupy isn't going to work, which means I have to battle it out. Personally, always battle it out. There is no reason you cannot find someone, if you're in the correct level field, that you can't beat at least one person somewhere that has already gathered resources. And actually, that ties into the next thing. As soon as you can, you should be hitting recall, pulling your troops out, and then finding someone that you can beat. Now, as you can see here, as I click on these, it says how much they've gathered. You'll receive a percentage of that when you steal the pit. Now, personally, I'm of a higher might and a higher, strength military-wise, so I will always want to find a gather total of at least 150, preferably 175,000, and optimally over 190,000. If I get lucky, I can find those few that are over 200,000, and that is in the level 5 field. Okay, so what I want to do is just kind of poke around and see, like this one's not too bad, 161 gathered. So once I've kind of found what the amount of gathering that they've already completed that I want, then I can steal the pit. The other thing that I look at as far as that goes is I know I'm in state 16, and as you can see here, this occupant is, that number right there isn't a ranking, that's the state they're from. So this is the occupant, and it's multi-state, it goes across all the states. They're from state 58. Now what that means, if you don't understand how states work, is state 1 is technically the first state that was ever built, and when that was filled, they created state 2, state 3, state 4. So I'm state 16. I was actually in the beta testing of this game, so I was one of the first players, one of the first 100 or maybe first thousands of players to actually play this game, and I've been playing it every day ever since. So some of these states, state number 58 didn't come out till maybe a month or 2 months or 3 months after I have been playing the game. So just based on a normal amount of growth, I should be overpowering this person. Now, the other thing you can do is I can check and see exactly what they're about. I can check their commander info. I can look at their gear, chips, modules, and cubes and see how they match up compared to me, strictly based off their commander. It doesn't tell me their troop size. It doesn't tell me their boosts, their military boosts. It just shows me how they're doing as a commander. Now, I know my gear far surpasses this person. I'm probably going to easily win this battle. So that's a pit I could steal. Now, I come in here, 69. As you can see, there's plenty of options that you should be able to find, even, no matter what might you are. Now, I see this, how it's in yellow. This is actually from my own state. If you see a blue flag, that's from your alliance. But the yellow tags, when you click on it, that means they're from your own state. While it's not a rule, I try not to raid from my own state. Why? Because we're pretty helpful with each other. I also happen to know this person and know that they're fairly tough. So I don't necessarily, well, they're not that bad. I could probably steal this pit, but I try to avoid stealing from my own state. Personal preference, not necessary. As you can see here, this is a number, state 56 with 170 gathered in total. I would normally jump on that, but just for illustration purposes, I want to try and find a better one. State 69, probably even easier. Of course, again, I can check and see what they're working with. Okay, and usually the higher the number means the longer they've been gathering, and sometimes that does mean that the tougher they are, because other people may have tried stealing from their pit. But at any rate, go through, find a pit that you like, and you want to steal that pit. Alright, so I'll take the next one that's over 170. And just try to find somebody not in my state. There. Now, this is state 31. The closer it gets to your number, the more difficult it's probably going to be. You can always check. This guy doesn't look like he's built up too much, so I'm going to go ahead and steal. And this should be pretty easy. Now, it does say it's an unprotected field. I don't know if there are protected fields. I've never been in one, but it says unable to reset the field when gathering. So this means that I can't redo the battle. Actually, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that, even though I should go ahead and take it, because I want to show you guys, once I've recalled, I'm going to go ahead and exit. But if you come in here, enter the field, let's say you're having trouble. Let's say you can't find a pit to gather. Let's say you can't beat anyone. Let's say it's just not going your way and you're in level 5. Well, what can you do? Well, when you exit, you have the option to reset the field. It says your current progress will be saved. And if you just exit, it exits, nothing changes. But let's go ahead and reset the field. Alright, so now I'm in the rare earth field. I need to enter the field. It says I can teleport to level 5 because that's where I was previously. Do I want to teleport? I'm going to say no. I'm going to go ahead and restart. So this is where you start off in the pit. You have to battle a little spider monkey here, and you have to beat him. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and attack this guy. This is where it is important, because this is kind of what you're going to be going into battle for the pit with. So these are your, this is my lineup of what's available. I'm going to go ahead and hit quick select. And because it's only level 1, my troops are capped at 47,000 or 375, or it's an equal distribution. Alright, and I can see my applicable stats if I need to, but I'm going to go ahead and dispatch, and I can watch the battle if I want to, but because this really isn't an important battle, I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward. So as you can see, I won 100% casualties against the opponent, and now I can enter the level 1 field. Alright, you can see up here the output is 14.4k per hour, up to level 8, which is 43.2 thousand per hour. I would like to make a big note here. If you look, the jump between levels isn't that big. 14,000 per hour from level 1 to 2, about 3,000 or so from level 2 to 3. 4 is again about 3,000, 3.6 thousand, and then 4 to 5 is about 3.6 thousand. So it's not a huge jump. The difference between level 5 and level 6 is even, I think it's about the same, 3.4. Alright, so it actually goes down a little bit. So the difference between these isn't great enough that I want to be at the highest possible level. I mean, if I could get to level 8 field, that would be fantastic, but it's probably not going to be the case. I can try for level 7 if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stick in level 5 for right now. So I'm going to go to the next level, and you just keep attacking. Do your quick select if you want. I do that. If you're having trouble beating one and you want to get to that next level, definitely choose your heroes wisely. Go ahead and skip the battle, and I'll do this all the way up to level 5. Alright, so I'm back to level 5, and like I said, the reason I want to be in the level 5 field is because even though I can get to level 6, the quality of players I'm going against the next tier up is almost as equally matched, if not greater than, my matchup. Alright, so they're stronger than me, they have better troops than me, so I don't necessarily want to go up against them. So let's go ahead and find another one. I forget what level I was on with that 190. I'm going to go ahead and steal this 165 just to make it easy. So you go ahead and you hit steal. Now you can actually choose your lineup. I will say this, if you have VIP level 10, your talent, memory, military boosts will apply if you select it. So make sure that you are set for military before going into the pit. Make sure your military boosts are up. I'm not sure if time boosts count, but sometimes I think they do. But at any rate, I'm not sure about that. If you have them on, great. If you don't, I wouldn't put them on strictly for the pit, at any rate. But all your military boosts will apply, your talent sets will apply, so make sure you're set for military. And then I'm going to go ahead and choose my fighter lineup. And choosing the lineup is important because you are battling for this field just like any resource spot on the map. The only difference is this is interstate. This can be anybody from any state in this field. Okay, so that's why you want to find a state higher than yours. But go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and attack. It automatically tells you if you won or not. Successfully occupied rare earth pit. So I'm going to go ahead and skip the battle. I don't need to watch that. 100% casualties on their end. Easy win. Now this is the important part. Rated 33,242 rare earth. Okay, that's critical. So if you look here, it says I can't recall. Can recall for gathering after a certain period of time. There is a countdown right underneath it, and it shows that I have approximately 1 hour 45 minutes left. So what that means is every hour and 45 minutes of gathering, I can come in, recall my troops, re-steal, and get that 40,000 worth of rare earth for free. Well, technically for free. You have to be able to win your raid. And as you can see, my raid attempts did go down. And it used to be 5 attempts, and it never seemed to refresh. I was able to raid as much as I wanted, but I do think that this goes up over time. And I do know that I've never had a problem recalling as often as I'd like, and then being able to go in and attack again. As you can see, the excavation time is 1 day, 24 hours. So once that time is up, then I will have to leave. But you can see here that I only have about 7 hours of gathering, and I'm going to be full, and that's the max I can gather. So within that 7 hours, or preferably every hour and 45 minutes when possible, I want to come in, recall, gather my troops, resend them. Auto-occupy does work and is helpful if you are having trouble winning battles or out of raid attempts. But I will tell you, if you hit this auto-occupy and there's no spots available, you automatically go into auto-occupy cooldown, which takes 5 minutes. So you're going to have to look anyways. I would recommend finding someone that's in a higher state than you, even if their gathered in total isn't that high. Attempt to win a battle. Check the commander info. See what you're going up against. If you think you can beat them, go ahead, try to steal their pit and get those free rewards, that extra bonus of rare earth. That's the most important thing you can do. And if you are having trouble in a level, the only other thing I can say is come in here and reset your field. Now right now I'm gathering and I just started. I don't think I can do this, but reset your field, go down 1 level. The amount you're gathering per time isn't so great that you need to be at the top level that you can be. I would recommend going as high as you can, trying that level out. If you can't steal, if you're getting kicked out of your pit all the time, if you're, it says someone stole from you all the time, you definitely want to go down a level. And that's the only other thing I wanted to mention. If it is saying that you're getting stole a lot, it's probably because you're having high numbers here and you're not that high of might. So you want to go in every couple hours and withdraw. Even if you're only using the auto occupy feature, withdraw your troops, because what's going to happen is that you're going to be less desirable of a target. I will never steal 90,000 in the pit, because I can do double that and double my reward for my steal, and I can only steal every hour and 45 minutes, every 2 hours about. So why would I take this guy when there's someone else I know sitting on 134,000 or 200,000? I'm not going to do it. So make yourself a small target. Pull back your troops when you can, recall, make sure you're attempting to steal every pit you can, and if you're fighting in a certain level, if you're constantly fighting and losing, you can't steal, you're getting stole from, you can't gather very long, go down a level, reset your field, drop to level 4 field. If you're not having success there, drop to level 3 field. You want to be able to gather in your field that you're in as long as you want, and you want to be able to steal from other people gathering. Okay, go down to whatever level that requires. I don't care if it's level 1. I would recommend that over anything else. If you are the type of person that you only have a couple minutes per day and you have to just leave it sit until it gathers max, and then go down to a level where people are rarely, if ever, stealing from you, and stay at that level. But definitely want to steal when you can, get that extra bonus, and otherwise, good luck. Don't forget your VIP level 10. Everyone needs to be there. Apply that military set. It does apply, and you will need those boosts to do better in the pit. So that's all I got for you today. Definitely give it a thumbs up if it helped you out, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Appreciate your guys' support. This is Valence Ring with Non-Decor Duco in State 16.